How's your island going, Zap? Alright, it's about 290. Let that get up to temperature a little bit more before we add the chicken. Haven't had a chance to check today, but should have your first extra residence. Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I got the one thing I did today was I got the so I have the bridge built now. So I got the packages for building the first resident houses.
Oh. Did you fill them out, or you say you have access to them now?
I have them in my inventory in my bag.
Oh.
So I have to pick the spots for the houses and can build all of the stuff to complete them.
Oh yeah. Sorry, that's I thought what you meant. You still have to pick where they are.
Yes.
I thought you meant you had all of the furnishings for them built
No.
and ready to go.
No. I just got the bundles with the instructions of what you have to build.
I was like, that took me 2 days.
I sent you a letter with peaches, by the way.
Yes, I have oranges, apples, peaches, and I guess that's it right now. And coconuts. Those don't really count. I know of a person who has cherries.
So pears is the only...
Cherries and berries.
Cherries and berries.
If I could just pull up images super quick, I would have like 2 seconds of Dr. Cox from Scrubs spoken. So imagine I did that and then
Apples also have oranges, pears, and coconuts. So Zap is our source of pears, apparently.
laugh. I don't think that there's anything to kill in Animal Crossing, which was Rev's question. They've got a museum that you can donate fish that you catch and bugs that you can catch, but they just put them on display in a museum.
They don't kill them. I think technically you can kill plants.
If you're really bad.
If you're,
No, I'm kidding.
well, I know in previous games, if you like planted a tree in a spot that it can't grow, it'll wilt and die. I don't know if that actually happens in this version of the game, because I planted a coconut in a spot that obviously didn't support a full coconut tree, and it just stayed infinitely as a baby coconut. It just didn't grow.
Oh, interesting.
So I could pick it back up and plant it somewhere else. So far, none of my regular trees have been in a spot that are inappropriate. So the only thing Animal Crossing kills this time, that is true.
Nintendo, like, seriously could not have timed it better for Animal Crossing coming out right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just a couple news headlines today that there's a global Switch shortage. Nobody has these cool game boxes.
Yeah. And so I'm really craving something to let out energy, and for me that's exercising. And since I can't go to the gym right now, and I'm starting to try and walk more, but anyway, long story short, I was trying to find somewhere that had Ring Fit Adventure, but that is also something that is in high demand right now and wasn't able to find it anywhere, so I have to hold off on that. When you need to relax, you go for killing things to relieve stress. I can understand that. Yeah, Animal Crossing is not that. Animal Crossing is more for sort of tooling around and just enjoying the company of virtual animal people and fishing, catching bugs, you know, Stuff that you would do if you went camping, maybe. Okay, let's drop the pasta while this chicken cooks. So the pasta takes 5 to 7 minutes. I'll check it after 5. Sure, let's go with that. Ring Fit Adventure has been sold out for months. Yeah, I should have grabbed that when it first came out because I knew I'd want to try it eventually. Admittedly, I didn't think I would be trying it this soon, but now is the perfect time to have it. Because I really liked Wii Fit when that came out. It wasn't really intense enough for the kind of exercise I like, but it was still a fun game. And Ring Fit Adventure sounds like they kind of, maybe not 100%, but definitely made strides towards making it a more true exercise, more intense exercise.
I feel like it's a little tricky with a dog, though. Like, little
Yeah.
B would just...
Yeah, no, that's something you'd have to put, at least at the moment, you'd have to put Buster in his pen or his crate while you do it, unless you want to step on dog, which is probably not a good idea. The only thing you do camping-wise is swimming. We always have to have someone on moccasin and copperhead watch, though. Oh, wow.
Yeesh.
Ring Fit will work your butt off, yeah. I really wish I could get my hands on it. At a reasonable price, I guess I should say. I'm sure it's marked up a lot on Amazon Marketplace or eBay. Not quite that desperate for it. I wish they had something like that for PC. Yeah, that would be good.
Stardew Valley.
Well, did you mean Animal Crossing or Ring Fit Adventure, Rev?
Oh, sorry, yeah, I meant Animal Crossing.
I knew that's what you were thinking with that suggestion, but I assumed it was, yeah, Ring Fit. Yeah, I don't know of anything on PC that's even close to that. I'm sure there are things similar to Wii Fit, since Wii Fit was so popular. I wouldn't be surprised if some PC game companies try to replicate that. Definitely seems like the peripheral, the actual ring of Ring Fit, is partly what makes it so good and ideal for exercise. So I'm not sure if you'd be able to find anything that's a perfect match.
I've got a coworker who's a semi-professional cyclist, and he has a bike trainer at home in his office
Yeah.
that has a computer game associated with it. You can't really see it in the picture, but that gives you the basic idea.
Yeah.
Where he can ride through like simulated courses of like Paris or whatnot. But the cool thing is it actually puts everybody else riding that course on like the same path as you. So if you're going along, it'll be like, hey, there's somebody like creeping up on you, and you can like pedal faster to not let this guy pass you, or like if somebody does pass you, you can like hurriedly like try and catch up to them.
I would really enjoy that. I'm not into the whole Peloton thing, but if you had a situation where it felt like you were actually riding your bike, like your road bike on a road somewhere,
Yeah.
I would be really into that.
It's interesting. Like most trainers are just on the back wheel of your bike, because if that one spins, your front wheel just stays in place.
Right.
They actually have another device you can buy where you take the wheel off of your front wheel on your bike and just attach the fork to this machine, and it lifts the front of your bike up and down based on if you're going up a hill or not.
Oh, that's cool. Zombicorn, hello, good evening. How are you? Hope you are surviving everything. It's Nintendo's loss for not bringing things to PC, but you can't justify buying a TV and a Switch and games when you have everything on your PC. I mean, that's fair. It is a big investment. I didn't buy a Switch until Animal Crossing, when it had enough of a library that I knew, for me, it made sense to buy it. Until then, I just let Stuart buy it all, and I mooched off him. Yeah, I mean, I can see why Nintendo does that, because since they control the whole ecosystem, they can make sure that the experience is up to their standards, kind of like Apple. But yeah, it does limit the audience in some ways for them.
I turned off your chicken timer, by the way.
Thank you. Oh, and the spaghetti is maybe done. Let me try a strand of the spaghetti to see if it needs another couple minutes. Looking like it might. It still looks kind of stiff.
Two minutes.
Let me taste it first. Oh yeah. Yeah, I would say 3 minutes actually. That's still like crispy. You can kind of tell, it's very stiff still just by looking at it. So. How can I manage to eat so well during an apocalypse? They didn't tell you that apparently during apocalypses they still deliver food to your house if you sign up for it. Never heard about that in all the apocalypse movies that they've come out with, but honestly, that's the only way I'm doing this. The supermarkets are so unpredictable. It would sort of be like, let's see what I can find at the market today kind of stream. Not that there's anything bad about that, but it would definitely be more unpredictable. Just got tired of eating wraps and sandwiches and sausages. Is that because you bought like bread and tortillas and stuff at the supermarket? Yeah. Apartment is so small you don't even know where you put a TV in a TV stand, not allowed to mount stuff. Yeah, that's the problem with apartments. At least you have some food to work off of. That's the important thing. Alright, so this chicken should be cooked through by now. Oh yeah, that's looking good. Alright, so let's do this. Get this chicken out of the pan.
What's up?
I was going to put some Parmesan on the chicken, but I think I will actually not do that because I want to keep all this oil in the pan.
Okay.
For tossing the pasta, and I don't want to lose that by making Parmesan crusted chicken. So you have a reprieve, Stuart.
A reprieve from what?
Gotta stretch your mules. Just decided to support your local restaurant tonight. Oh, cool. Yeah, I was just saying earlier, I feel like I want to do that. But I also am like, I can't do it too often because then I'm going to gain even more weight than I already have.
Yeah, and when we're not streaming, we're doing much more simple stuff. We did like the most Taco Bell-ish tacos today with just ground beef and some seasoning and a little bit of lettuce and tomato and cheese.
That's pretty good. Let me grab a cup of the cooking water, which we're going to use to
Thicken up the sauce.
thicken up the sauce and just create a sauce in general, really.
We made a soup. We did a potato hash. We did BLTs one day because I just randomly bought a package of bacon.
Fried rice and stir fries. That's a really good way of stretching your ingredients, and it's tasty too. It's not like you're really sacrificing much when you do that. All right, we'll drain the pasta. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate for me because one of the reasons I signed up for meal boxes because I'm terrible at planning meals for the week. So that's one life skill I've never really honed very well, is planning meals for a week and getting all the ingredients for a week or 2 weeks even. And then just, doing one shopping trip to get all those things. And now is kind of the time that you need that skill. So I'm having to learn that.
Or just leave it to me.
Or leave it to you. If you want to do it, yeah, go for it.
Did it this week. I think.
I suppose that's true. It's mostly lunch stuff that you did.
Oh, yeah, no.
Because dinners have been taken care of by Marley Spoon.
That's what I meant, is you were just saying you were having trouble picking lunches because you need to
Oh,
pick
yeah,
lunches now. I'm like,
Yeah.
I did that last week.
Now we need to learn, yes. Peppermint mocha coffee. It's always been a dream to never need to leave the house. Yeah, I thought that was my dream, and now I'm like, well, sometimes it's nice to have some human interaction, even if it's just sitting in a crowd. All right. So let's get the components for the sauce ready. So we need an egg. Just the yolk, though. We don't need the white.
Yolk. What you gonna do with all those egg whites?
It's just one. Just one egg white. This isn't an eggnog situation where I have to figure out how to use up the whites from a dozen eggs. It's turning out to be a nightmare instead. Yep. All right, one large egg, so we're just gonna do the yolk. So one thing you can do is kind of like plop the yolk back and forth between two halves of the eggshell, just letting the yolk drain out here and there. But all I'm gonna do is just take the yolk and let the white drain through my fingertips. It feels super icky, but it works.
Gross.
Hand is better, yeah. It certainly gives you a better feel for how much white is left and guide it away from the yolk. Whereas if you go back and forth with the eggshells, it's very inexact. Especially for me, who I'm not good at cracking eggs. It's a skill that I'm still working on trying to improve. So I usually end up with eggshell halves that are not ideal for trying to separate the yolk. So yes, in my case especially, using my hand is ideal. Having actually a little spoon-like thing that you can do that. Oh, nice. Yeah, I think I've seen those, actually. Those are pretty cool. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to use a whisk for this. Let's just do an egg yolk. So we're going to whisk this with the lemon juice and the zest. And then some salt and pepper. One thing that goes really well with carbonara is pepper. You want to make sure you have a good amount of ground pepper ready for this recipe when you make it, because the pepper just goes so well with the creamy sauce and the bacon. Two eggs, one hand. Impressed Mr. Rez's brother with your double egg crack the other day. That's something I need to figure out how to do too, is just cracking an egg with one hand. 2 eggs, 2 hands. Not that silly or talented. I still need to figure out how to do 1 egg, 1 hand.
I keep thinking while I'm stuck inside, what I really need to do is pick up a random life skill. And I think the random life skill I might attempt is how to properly shuffle a deck of cards.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really bad at shuffling cards whenever I play a board game. And I'm usually the person working as dealer, so I have to like hastily table shuffle everything. It's embarrassing. Though maybe I should try cracking an egg with one hand instead.
Don't steal my my party trick. I can shuffle cards, but the method I use tends to bend the cards more than I would like. I'd like to be able to do the shuffle where you kind of hold the pack and you guide the cards down. You know what I'm talking about? You kind of curl them upwards and then they together.
You bridge them together.
They still bend a little bit, but I feel like it's not as much as when I do my usual shuffle. God, that's hard to describe in words.
Talking about a riffle shuffle, apparently.
A riffle shuffle. Maybe. Which one is the riffle shuffle?
This is the thing you described.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure if I described it well, so you may be thinking of something else.
I don't know.
The bridge, maybe?
I think that's what you're talking about.
I am ignorant with card lingo, which is why I probably only know the one way to shuffle cards. Think Spock's hand greeting or nano nano, and then curl your fingers. If you can separate your middle finger from your ring finger while curled, then you can do it easily. I don't think I've ever tried that technique, but that's a good start. Thank you,
Talking
Rev.
about that thing.
Yes, that is the one I want to... I guess that's curved more than I thought.
It's an exaggerated one, but yeah.
The way I usually shuffle is I just take half of a deck in each hand and hold them like this, and then together, and then just let them riffle together on the edges randomly. And that curling back of the deck as you go before releasing them is what... It just bends the cards over time too much for my liking.
And every time he does it, he makes the cards face opposite direction when you're using it as a drop
And it
pile.
annoys
It's
Stuart's
really
OCD.
distracting. No, I'm teasing.
Might have to stream a one-hand cracker just to show you how to... I mean, I kind of got the idea from your description. That was a really good description. It would be cool to see it, though. I feel like things like that, like cracking an egg with one hand and breaking down a chicken, it's the kind of thing that's really difficult to get a camera positioned to really show what you're doing. It might be a little bit easier with cracking an egg with one hand, but let's switch to the poker category and we'll figure it out. Yeah, let's all watch Twitch together, other Twitch channels together. Gotta finish this meal first, though. I'm just gonna fry this sage.
Did you hear that there was a restaurant that opened during this coronavirus nonsense?
In Austin?
In Austin.
Yes, I did hear about that.
Yeah, somebody was opening up a takeout frozen dumpling shop. And they had invested a ton of money in it. And they're like, well, it's a takeout only restaurant anyways. And apparently people have been buying them like gangbusters because they want to stock up on
Frozen dumplings.
stuff for their
I mean,
fridge.
supposedly, their advantage is that they've been going to farmers markets forever.
So their product is solid and they have a good reputation.
And people know about them, so they didn't have the problem that a lot of restaurants have of trying to get attention. They already had an audience, so...
They're like 5 minutes from our house, though, so I really want to go get some dumplings now.
Yeah, we should.
Dumplings. They're called steamies. Is there anything I can help with?
No, we're getting close to finishing off the dish.
Nice. I've been stuck on this side, making sure that the doggy didn't get rowdy.
Thank you.
Do we need to cut the chicken up?
Depends if you want your chicken cut up. I was just going to have the whole slices, and I was going to cut it up as I ate the pasta.
I'm probably going to have mine in chunks.
Okay. You are welcome to do that once I get this. Let's see. So, 1 to 2 minutes, transfer the skillet to a plate, leaving the fat in the skillet, sprinkle with salt, add the pasta. Yeah, so if you want to use the chopping...
I'll just use this cutting board over here.
Okay. Alright, the sage and garlic should be good.
But yeah, I had the same reaction, Zombicorn. It's like, why would you open a restaurant right now?
Yeah, well, I felt bad for them because, I mean, I think you all know, you've heard of restaurants, how much of a tough venture it is to make money in. Between rent and the cost of food, you barely break even if you're lucky when you open a restaurant. So they had poured a ton of money into their restaurant and had a lot of debt. And so really, they had no choice but to open. And I think, lucky for them, like I said, they already had a following. And their business already was pretty much takeaway. So for them, thankfully, it was actually more of a logical decision than it sounds.
Yeah, I would have to hope that, like, landlords for restaurants right now have got to know. It's like, if you kick a restaurant out, no one's going to be moving in there right now. And, like, there can't be that crazy high of an operating cost of just letting a restaurant sit closed for a month. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
Don't kick the restaurant out, like, put the thing on pause, and then when
I haven't heard much
stuff
about
starts back up,
what landlords are doing for restaurants. I mean, what you say makes total sense, but I don't know. I mean, everyone needs money to survive, so it's like, what is the balance there?
yeah.
Even fancy restaurants are going takeout and delivery now. Yeah, they are. On Tuesday, when Zap asked your life-changing food experience, and I described that restaurant that I really enjoyed, Barley Swine. I'm waiting. They said they're going to do takeout.
Are they doing takeout now?
They said they're going to, but they haven't announced anything yet. And I keep waiting for them because I'm like, what would they do for takeout? Cause
So one of the restaurants near us did a smart thing, and rather than doing their full menu, they're like, we're gonna do family style meals where it's like you can pick family meal A, B, or C, and it's 3 different dishes that they have that are fairly easy to make and probably use up the remainder of their ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd have to imagine they do something similar. There's a ramen shop in town which was famous for having a sign on their window being like, we know you want ramen to go, but ramen is a unique experience and you need to have it in the right atmosphere.
Well, they want to make sure that you have the noodles in the proper with the proper cooking on them.
Oh yeah, that's
and
true
they
too.
get soggy really easily if you package ramen in the broth. You'd easily get soggy noodles, and they didn't want you to have soggy noodles. So that was their reasoning for not providing takeout.
They were famous for being anti-takeout though, and they find day one of coronavirus, they're just yep, never mind, we got takeout.
I mean, if that's what they need to do to survive, then they're going to do it, you know? It's no longer about, oh, we want to have the ultimate experience. I mean, obviously they want you to have the best experience they can, but they also want to stick around.
Yeah.
They don't want to go out of business. So
I still want to get some of their ramen when the mood strikes me, because it seriously was like, if you knew 3 things about ramen Tatsuya, it's A, they're really good, B, they're really good, and C, they don't do takeout. Oh yeah, you looked up the Japanese barbecue place in town.
Kamuri.
Like the fusion one. Did they have an interesting takeout menu? I can't remember is a valid answer.
I don't know if I've actually looked at their menu, like read their menu, period. Even like brought it up and then read it. I've just heard that there's some really good stuff on it, anecdotally.
Yeah, this was a Japanese restaurateur bought a Texan steakhouse and was like, oh, I own a smoker now. What can I do with this? And they've got some pretty interesting stuff there. But they have a side menu that is all the really funky stuff like natto and other things that are a super acquired taste.
But to your comment about separating the noodles from the broth, yeah, there's another ramen place in town here that does that. And they've been offering takeout for their ramen forever. And I've never really understood why Ramen Tatsuya doesn't do that, because you're right, that does seem like that would be the solution. Just don't put the noodles in the broth.
I think they just get enough business with their store that they don't want to deal with the logistics and demand. Anyways, all I was going to say is they have that weird funky natto menu,
Yes.
and their funky scale is a bunch of jazz musicians.
Yes.
It was pretty good.
They showed one restaurant at ABC, and they changed their menu in 24 hours
Wow.
to go a fancy takeout delivery burger place. That's impressive.
Man, takeout burgers are hard. Depending on the container, if you put them in like a plastic container or something, the bun ends up soggy by the time it gets to you.
Yeah. Yeah, burgers and fries are also pretty tricky. Alright, so like I said, I like a lot of cracked pepper with my carbonara. Zobocat, thank you for the host.
Hey, thank you.
Appreciate that.
If you hold that straight up and down, I think the peppercorns might come out a little better.
Yes, sir.
Now we're just getting low. I think it needs a refill.
Hope you're doing well, Zoe. No, please do check out Zobocat's stream.
There we go, post. Zobocat. Yeah, we're making pasta carbonara tonight. I have never had before, so I'm super excited.
Alright, so that's become nice and creamy, so we'll go ahead and add the bacon and the sage and the garlic.
And I think we're pretty much done, right?
Pretty much. I think so. Let's see. Yeah, just the broccolini still is in the oven, so we need to get that out, but otherwise, we are ready to serve up.
And garlic bread can wait for another time.
Oh yeah, I was gonna do garlic bread.
Ah, that's alright.
You sure?
We did a lot of chicken. I think we're fine.
I'll just have to suffer and not have something to soak up all of the wonderful creamy sauce that's in this pasta.
That's true. We could keep everything warm for a couple minutes if you really want a garlic bread, but we should probably just be good.
I want it more for the fact that that sourdough turned out so well.
It did. We need to make BLTs again with that.
Yes.
Yes, Zobo made it just in time for the plating, and
Yes.
I'm only just now remembering that we are... The one good thing we don't have dishware-wise is like a good pasta bowl. My folks have pasta bowls that make me very envious.
We don't have pasta that frequently to justify having bowls just for pasta.
This is true.
You know, I held back on the salt a little bit because between the salty bacon and the salty cheese, I figured it could easily go overboard, but I think this does need a little bit extra salt before we plate up.
But yeah, we're glad that everybody's hanging in there in these trying times.
Doing all right. Was not too productive today. Still feeling a little down about that. Oh, I know how that feels.
They've been super unproductive at work, but nobody's noticed, so it's cool.
I'm just feeling like I need some more human interaction, which is something I never thought I would say. But it's getting to the point now where it's like, it almost feels like I'm not part of my work anymore, you know? It's like I am talking to coworkers regularly. We even have meetings with video and audio, so it's not like I'm not talking to folks at work, but there's still this disconnected feeling where I don't feel like I'm...
See, I was about to say, like, I did a staff meeting today, and it's like me reading off like the same updates for the last 3 weeks. But I turned my camera on today, and I'm like, yo, here's what's up. And I was talking with hands and all that nonsense, and everybody was super engaged today.
Yeah, so that helped.
I also filled the deck with puppy pictures.
That's what I need to do. If Buster wasn't in his cone of shame, I would be using him more as a prop.
Oh no, I totally had the title slide being a picture of him in his cone of shame saying quarantine day 6 and him being like, oh, I'm in a cone.
I'm in my own private quarantine. Self-isolation is terrible for me. Cone of shame. Yeah, you know the cones that dogs wear so that it stops them from... Yeah, he got neutered. Yeah, it stops him from... He's obviously not allowed to lick or try to chew at his stitches, so yeah. I don't know if you were around when I made that joke earlier, Somnicorn. I was like, yes, I have Stuart, but I see him all the time. I need some variation.
There we go.
Yeah, there's his cone.
Yeah, we got him like a soft padded cone, which is good because...
A cone of fashion. I will tell him that, and maybe it'll make him feel better.
The day after that cone came in, he rammed his first plastic cone into the wall so hard it cracked in the middle.
Yeah, now that he's feeling a little bit better, he's still got that puppy energy.
Actually, you didn't tell me what he rammed into to crack it, or if it was a ramming or just a, like, weirdness.
No, he rammed into... I think it was the glasses cabinet. It was either the glasses cabinet or the calyx thing over there.
I've got a cabinet for all my glasses. No, we've got a cabinet that has our glassware in it.
Yes. But I think it was the glass cabinet because one of his toys rolled underneath, and normally he can duck under, but with the cone it was just like bang.
He was really slow on the uptake when it comes to him not being able... I knew that bang was going to wake him up. He's really slow on the uptake when it comes to not being able to fit in places he was previously able to fit.
Yeah. Well, especially when you have a cone that's not even really part of your body.
Yep. That
can be difficult for people to adjust to, let alone a dog who's only 8 months of age. Thank you, Cool Coyote.
Oh no, I put the Parmesan away. I didn't think that one through.
No, you didn't. Did I tell you could put the cheese away? I'll tell you when I've had enough cheese.
Oh no. I forgot there was broccolini with this. Crispy boys.
They are crispy. Didn't spiral it. I was thinking as I was plating it, I need to learn that technique. But I guess you have to use like a meat fork maybe to get the pasta and do the twirl properly. I didn't have ready access to my meat fork, so I was like, okay, I'd like to learn to do it, but maybe not tonight. I find it funny that you said that though, Rev, because you're always like, oh, screw the plating. It's about how it tastes. You don't have to use the meat fork, you just need to be Jon Favreau. I know you were, Rev. Thank you, Amuse Duck. How does he do the pasta twirl thing? I don't think I've ever seen him cook pasta. Let's see, I've got 3 pieces of chicken, but I think I'll just, for picture purposes, I'll just do the 2.
Meanwhile...
Oh, cubed chicken. Fancy. A little bit of extra bacon just for presentation. Oh, tongs. Yes. Wasn't the pasta twirl from the movie Chef? Ooh, you know, it's been a while since I've watched that movie. I'm trying to remember if he did a pasta twirl in that movie. I mean, I guess it would make sense that he would. But yeah, tongs. That's a good point.
Wasn't that movie about a food truck?
It was.
I think there was probably a scene early on where he's cooking for his kid or whatnot at his house before they go on the road trip.
And at the start of the movie, he's working for a restaurant, so it could be a shot of him working at the restaurant. Alright, so there's the finished dish. Broccolini, roasted. Maybe a little bit extra roasted than it should be, but
Back on to give it some heat.
no worries. And then pasta carbonara and a little bit of chicken on the side just because we had chicken and there was no other protein with this dish other than the bacon, so I figured a little bit of chicken would be nice. It's been so long since I've had chicken carbonara, or carbonara in general.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's a Alton Brown recipe we've been putting on the back burner forever, where he's got a breakfast carbonara, where you do
Yes, because
like
this
Italian
is
breakfast sausage.
Yeah, this is essentially a breakfast dish. It's like the Italian version of a bacon, egg, and cheese bagel. So it totally makes sense as a breakfast food.
It's like, if you're gonna take a nap after brunch, you might as well be having pasta.
Sorry, I'm just taking a picture.
You're good. If I was thinking, I totally should have done a quarantine eats blog that just chronicles a bunch of things cooked while stuck inside.
Yeah, we should have thought to set that up. I've been watching the Alton streams. I watched his first one. I didn't watch the one, or I haven't watched it yet, from this past Tuesday. I still need to do that one. It was interesting watching his first one. He was really, I don't know. I'm not sure how to word this nicely. I mean, his personality, you know, is still fun to watch, and he's intense about food. You know, you can tell he knows what he's talking about when it comes to the food and enjoys it, is passionate about it. But the second one, he was 2 cocktails in. I think he had some cocktails in him on the first one too. His wife's a sweetie, and you agree with her. He's a professional pain in the butt. Yeah, that's the thing. It felt like he was always getting on her case about everything. Like, whenever she did something, he was like, I mean, I'm sure it was all an act, and she knew that it was just him being him, but I felt bad for her a little bit. Oh, I did see that clip that he broke the champagne bottle. Yeah, it serves him right for showing off on the stream.
Yeah, I think it's interesting figuring out which internet personalities are introverts and which ones are extroverts right now. Because, like, Travis McElroy, like, 3 days into quarantine is like, I'm gonna internet stream me reading a book. And there's been other folks as well. Plus, a lot of folks are trying to give content to people to view in these stressful times, but
Yeah,
it just
when you're
cracks
trapped
me
in
up.
your house.
Which people jumped on board, like, I gotta stream something, man.
He's a goober. He's an extrovert. Who? Alton Brown or Travis McElroy? This is
both of them.
yeah, true. This is really good. It's really lemony, which I like a lot. I think because I actually use more lemon juice than the recipe called for, but I like that little bit of acid with the creaminess. And it's not as creamy as past carbonaras I've had because it doesn't have to add cream to it. It's just the egg yolk. This probably could have even have done with a little bit more of the cooking water to loosen up the sauce a little bit and help with that creaminess because the pasta kind of absorbed it all, but it's really good. Go for it. Alton Brown, yeah. Yeah, I would agree. And the broccolini is good too. Kind of like the lemon juice, it adds a nice earthy green refreshment from the creamy bacon and egg. Thank you, Rev. Yeah, I think we're about ready to wrap up here. Thank you all for hanging out. It was good to have your company. It definitely helps with being trapped inside to be able to chat and interact with y'all while we make dinner. So yes, thank you for stopping by and keeping us company. Stuart is very intensely waving goodbye.
I also don't have a microphone on anymore.
Ah, okay, that would explain it. Mr. Red's working on the stuffing for the mushrooms now. Nice. We'll enjoy that. Yeah, you too, Zobo. Hope you have a good evening. Yeah, no problem, Cool Coyote. It's. I feel like it's even more important right now when the lack of interaction is minimal. Well, no, when the lack of interaction is at its max, I guess is the proper way of saying that. I'm going to take a quick look here to see if there's anyone we can raid. But yeah, we'll be back on Saturday. Like I said, I'm not sure what we'll be doing yet. It could be anywhere from lazily making some sourdough interspersed with playing video games to kill the time, to whatever recipe we can find ingredients for at the supermarket. It's going to be somewhere around there. So hope you can join us on Saturday for that. Okay, let's ooh, a couple options tonight. Oh yeah, there's the Iron Chef Japan channel as well now. Still need to check that out. Glad to hear it, Bemused. It's always good to chat with you. Glad things are going well. You get people, communities you can be friends with to get that connection, yeah. Go outside whenever you can, even if it's your own backyard. I've been doing that. I think for me, I just miss the extra exercise. And I think Buster's missing that too, since he's recovering from his surgery right now. All right, we'll go raid Cooking Without Looking. It's been a little while since we said hello. All right, so enjoy the rest of your evening. We will see you on Saturday, I hope. Until then, stay well, take care, get outside, interact with whoever you can safely. Yeah, we'll see you Saturday. Take care.